Are you in the real estate business and find yourself bogged down with tasks that keep you from focusing on what truly matters, like closing deals and growing your business? Well, we have the perfect solution for you. Meet REI World Solutions Virtual Assistants. These are not just any virtual assistants. They are professionally trained, monitored, and managed to get the job done, allowing you to accelerate your business to new heights. Imagine having a dedicated assistant taking care of the things you either don't want to or don't have the time to do. Sounds like a dream, right? Here's what they can do for you. 1. Call or text prospects. Yes, they will do the prospecting for you, be it cold calling or texting, saving you a ton of time. 2. Gauge prospects for interest. They will contact and vet your entire list, identifying the prospects most likely to convert into customers. 3. Provide detailed lead information for follow-up. Once they've pinpoint likely customers, you get notified in real time, allowing you to follow up immediately and close more deals. That's not all. These virtual assistants are real estate specialists with experience spanning real estate investors, property management companies, brokers, agents, and service providers. They are driven by core values of integrity, preparedness, stellar customer service, and a dedication to growth and learning daily. So why wait? Let the REI World Solutions Virtual Assistants be the backbone of your business, helping you scale and grow with meticulous attention to detail. Remember, with REI World Solutions Virtual Assistants, you're not just hiring help. You're building a culture rooted in mission and goal setting, a culture that stands tall on professionalism and a strong focus on customer service. REI World Solutions Virtual Assistants, your partner in achieving your business needs and goals. To get started with REI World Solutions Virtual Assistants today, visit moneyisfunnyshow.com/VA. That's moneyisfunnyshow.com/VA. It's time to take the leap towards a more prosperous business. REI World Solutions Virtual Assistants.
Are you a real estate investor looking for that perfect financial partner to fuel your property ventures? Or perhaps you're a lender eager to dive into a lucrative investment opportunity? Well, I have some exciting news for you. Introducing the United States Real Estate Investor Lending Program, the dynamic platform that bridges the gap between real estate investors and a network of private and hard money lenders, creating a win-win for everyone involved. Here's what you can look forward to. For investors, 1. Capital fuel. Get essential funding you need to make your property ventures a roaring success. 2. Financial partnership. Forge vital business relationships and step up your financial freedom game. For lenders, 1. Diversified investment portfolio. Lending to real estate investors not only diversifies your investment portfolio, but also potentially increases your overall returns while reducing risk. 2. Attractive returns. Enjoy higher interest rates compared to traditional lending options, giving you the potential for significant returns on your investment. 3. Access to qualified borrowers. Save time and effort in finding and vetting real estate investors. The platform connects you with a network of dedicated and experienced investors, increasing the likelihood of successful ventures. So, whether you're looking to request a deal funding or offer funding solutions as a lending partner, the United States Real Estate Investor Lending Program is your gateway to the world of opportunity and rewards delivered right to your email inbox. Ready to embark on a more prosperous real estate investing journey? Get started now. Visit moneyisfunnyshow.com/lending. That is moneyisfunnyshow.com/lending. Take your first step to a bigger bottom line with United States Real Estate Investor Lending. That is United States Real Estate Investor Lending.
Universe. Media. Network. 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 Network.
Welcome to Money is Funny, where we have a relaxed and an important conversation about money and life and how we can make the best decisions of both. I'm Michael Anthony, and I got my co-host,
Armond Croom.
Yes, sir. And today's topic is buying a car and all the aspects of buying a car. When it's time to buy a car, when it's time to buy a car for your little loved ones, your young ones, your cheering. The show will also show you that money is funny. Armond, how are you doing, Playboy? You good?
I am doing great, man. I just got back from watching the Laker game.
Ooh, stunt. That was a humble brag. Okay, I got you. Just going back to the Laker game. He didn't say floor seats, folks. He didn't say floor seats. He didn't.
No. I was like in the place where people who have crutches and wheelchairs and stuff like that. Like, I don't know how I got those seats, but that's where I was.
Wait, you took the ball from the kid? You was on the court too? He was like, get this old man a ball. Let's see if he can shoot the ball.
Oh man, I'm waiting for them to call my name so I can get down there to do that. No, I took a man by myself without children and wife trip to LA to eat by myself and be in my own thoughts and not have to take a picture of my food or take a picture of my wife or look after my children who want to sit on my lap during. Yeah, I mean, just
now I have to ask you, as a happily married man, with this trip that you did, hypothetically, if you was on the Kiss-tron and you was next to a neighbor, some woman next to you, and you're on the Kiss cam, are you going to do it? Are you not going to? You're not going to do it?
No,
not even on the week.
No, I ain't doing nothing. She ain't with me. And I actually was sitting next to a woman to the left of me who some guy is using his swag of working the door at the crypto.com to get girls in, which was kind of hilarious to me because he had these two girls sitting next to me that he come over and talk to every once in a while, check on them, this, that, and the other. And then I was walking out, he was hitting on another female saying, hey, if you ever want to come to a liquor game.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I would say this dude is working.
Hey, how you think he got them seats? How you think he got? Hey, this is what he does. Don't be bad at Playboy. Don't be mad at him. Don't be mad at him. Are you affected at all by the hour ahead?
I am not affected by the hour ahead, so I'm good. I float like water, baby. I adjust. So, speaking
of Justin, I can't wait for you to introduce our host. I mean, actually, our guest.
Yes, we gonna promote him already.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited to talk to this brother. Will you please give my man his credits as you will?
All right. Well, we have for you Mr. William A. Adams, who is an award-winning D&I inventor, engineer, trailblazer, and philanthropist. From an early accomplishment of rolling out critical XML code to many Microsoft core products globally, he was later named the first technical advisor to the CTO of Microsoft, Kevin Scott. Ooh. William has founded and overseen global initiatives that have revolutionized how underserved communities access jobs and build careers at the company. Early in his 35-year software engineering career, William was one of the first Black entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley. He holds 2 patents. Today, in addition to his role at Microsoft, William is the philanthropic founder of the event and collaborative community-based hackathon designed to solve real-world problems. When he's not tinkering with bits and bytes, the husband and father of 3 builds kitchen cabinets, knits, and tries to recapture the exhilaration of riding a motorcycle in India. Without further ado,
please,
I'm gonna bring on my man. Oh, and put him on the big screen. Hold on a second. There you go.
Hey.
There you kids come. We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
Man,
I'm sorry.
As you were telling that Lakers story in the Kiss-tron, I was like, no, you are not going to kiss that woman. Not if you want to stay married, you're not.
If you want to go back home, if he wants to go back
home. Go home. No. You can see yourself on the screen and go.
Negative shit, man. Negative. I can't get pressured into doing something like that. No, not.
That's the thing about being an adult. You can conformably say no.
No.
I'm standing on it. No, I don't care if everyone boos me. I don't care if it's Rihanna. Well, I don't know, but however, like I said, no.
But thank you for having me on.
I had to give you your lengthy bio. I was hoping that he was going to end it on a great note. I was like, he's reading a eulogy. He needs to continue. He's doing a good job. He's doing a great job. William, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm not dead yet. So I woke up this morning. I was still alive, so I'm happy.
Amen.
There you go. I love the mentality. I love the mentality. And I was, speaking about cars and when to buy them and things of that nature, I was talking to Mike about it on the drive back down from LA to San Diego. I looked over to the left of me, and there was a guy who is a military member or service member driving a Tesla. And here I am driving my CX-9 Mazda and thinking to myself, he shouldn't have bought that car.
I try to ease Armand's mind. I was like, you don't know, that might be the company car.
No, military members ain't getting no company car. That's a Tesla. And so,
Army is the tank.
we got to talk about, what it's like to buy a car and when to buy a car. Just because you can afford the payment, sort of, doesn't mean you should get that car.
Right. Let's see how much that oil change is going to cost you.
So we got to take William back to the more, past the 35 years in the industry, back when he was starting his family and trying to make a decision on when to buy a car so he could. And by the way, folks, this is a very intelligent man. So I would love to hear his story of, the decision making and how he came to buying a car for his family, the setbacks that he had to endure. And I mean, because there's a lot of calculation that comes into buying a car because it impacts your family in such profound ways. So let me ask you, Sir, what was your decision making back in the early days?
I'm not in the military. So back in the early days, let's see. So way back, 1984, my brother and I started a company called Animation. And my mom, my father passed away when I was 7. So my mom remarried when I went off to college. And her husband at that time had a Scirocco, which is kind of a little sporties car. And we were starting our company, and they decided to gift us that car as our first car. So the first car, before that, when I was in high school, we had a family car, a Datsun B10 or whatever the heck it was. And so each of us teenagers took turns driving that as we, moved along. So first car was a free car from, the family car, hand-me-down car. And then
look at that stunt. He had a hand-me-down car. I'm sorry.
Of course I had a hand-me-down car. It's like, and of course I drove it the 1 mile to school because I'm driving, I'm a senior. So I'm driving.
My favorite song as I'm driving.
Yeah. So then the first car after that was also a hand-me-down for our business,
Okay. And what kind of car was that?
What's that?
What kind of car was that?
So that was the Scirocco, was the second car.
Got it.
Scirocco, what brand is that? I don't even remember. So it was the Scirocco. What's that?
No, I'm just doing a reference.
All right. So it was this little sporty thing. And that lasted a while until one day it got, now we had an office in the hood in Oakland. And so one day, that car was parked off to the side, not just minding its own business, and some truck came by and smashed the back of it and just kind of destroyed it. So that car was gone. I had the first real car that I bought was I had a girlfriend who then became my wife, and we bought this black Acura Integra.
Okay.
Just a hatchback, decent little car, nothing super duper fancy, but I think I must have thrown a little bit of money into it, and she had some money. We managed to get that, and I believe we had a payment. So
okay. We're back up before you got the Acura. So the car that got demolished, for the public, we want to know, you literally drive your car till the wheels fall off. You ride
that one, yeah.
Drive it till the wheels fall off.
Until the wheels got smashed off, yeah.
Figuratively and literally.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make a point about how long you should keep a car, it's like forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until
you park in the town in the Oakland and then someone demolish it.
Yeah, or they tow it away, or it gets impounded because it's parked too long. So
and an Acura doesn't sound like it's a fancy car. Acura probably back in them times was a very just a reliable, affordable car.
Yeah, it was something we could afford, and the whole sportiness of it was that it was black. It was like black.
You didn't get to pick the interior. It didn't have to be a certain
Who
whatever.
cares? No, man, it's black, and we would wash it like every weekend.
Okay.
Rain-X on the windshield. It's like we just love that little thing because we bought it. It was black, so we were sporty. So that was the first car that we bought, and that lasted a while, probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
And did you buy that Acura? And that Acura wasn't brand new.
No, that one was brand new when we got it.
Armand, look at Armand's face. Armand's had a face about buying brand new cars.
That's all right. It's all right. So
Armand, it was black though. It was
black.
If it was any other color, we're not buying that straight off the lot. We were like, we'll wait.
Yeah. Well, my wife at the time, she came from a family that wasn't rich or anything like that, but they're not ghetto, so they were like not like me. They were like, no, you're getting a decent car. So all right. So it wasn't super fancy, not super fancy, but it's what we could afford. So we got it. That car got in an accident.
Oh, that car got in an accident.
Oh, that Acura got in an accident too? By itself, minding his own business again?
No, my own wife. So
hey, don't bring up old stuff, Mike. Don't bring up old stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
Don't trigger me. Don't trigger me.
The views expressed by William A. Adams has nothing to do with me thinking about women drivers. So
no, so that one got in a little bit of a fender bender. But we didn't get rid of it because of that. We loved it, so we kept driving it.
Because it was black, of course.
Yeah, of course.
You keep it.
You don't just because it's black, you don't get rid of it just because it's a little dinged up. So, we drove that for a long time. I could pause there if you want.
No. You keep going.
Right, so I'll keep going. So that one lasted until I joined Microsoft in 1998. It was probably 6, 7 years. And at that time, now I'll probably get to the, here's where I go off the rails from what you probably would expect. So 1998, I joined Microsoft. Now I'm making money.
Okay.
I'm not starving in my own company. I'm not looking in the street for $1 to eat my dinner. So I leased a Toyota 4Runner. And that was the first time I had ever leased a car. So didn't buy it outright, didn't have a bank payment, but it was a lease, so there was a payment. But, at that time I had that was the first time we had a daughter. So we had a young kid, she was 1 or 2 at that time. No, she was 3 at that time. So got the money, it's like, we can afford this. There's no reason not to, there's no reason I had to drive a hoopty. I didn't have to buy a used car. Everyone at Microsoft is driving much better than that. So a new car it was, and it was a lease.
Now, let me ask you about leasing compared to renting or buying a car outright. Would you refer or recommend people leasing cars?
Yeah, now I'm much more sophisticated in understanding how money works and what happens at the end. So the difference between renting and leasing is with a lease, when you turn it back in, you kind of get some money back, right? So the car has a price.
Right.
Let's just say it's, just call it $20,000 is the price of the car.
Okay.
No, this car was more than that, but so let's call it $20,000. Your lease says, all right, they do this calculation, says, well, by the end of your term, whether it's 3 years or 5 years, that car is going to be worth Kelley Blue Book $10,000. So we're going to lose $10,000. So your resale price is essentially $10,000. So this is all decided up front. So your lease is essentially going to be the difference of that $10,000 to $20,000 plus some. So your payments are going to be based on, well, is it a good idea or not? You want to lease a car that's going to have a good return value. Because if the value is going to go to 0, you're not getting anything back at the end of the lease. Right? So you're going to have a higher payment, and then you're going to turn it back in, and that's it. You lost all your money. You're done. Right?
And also, is there stimulations on how many miles that you could put on this car as well?
Yeah. So when you lease the car, it's like, okay, for the amount you're paying per month, 12,000 miles a year is going to be average, and then there's probably you have to get the oil changed and this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, there's some limitations. And of course, if you go beyond that, you're going to pay additional money. So it's reasonable for the driving I was doing, 12,000 a year. It's like, I'm not going to drive more than that based on my commute. So it was worthwhile. It's like, okay, let me try this leasing thing. It's not a great deal if the value of the car is going to depreciate tremendously, right? Which a lot of cars depreciate. So you're only going to lease if you're going to lease something that's really popular, right? But of course, the price is going to be higher because it's really popular. So you're going to pay more anyway. Leasing is also, at the time, I probably didn't have a lot of cash laying around to make a bigger down payment or to buy it outright. Mm-hmm. So you could say, well, you could save up. It's like, yeah, and I can walk to work every day until I save up. So I want the car now. I don't have all the money to pay for it outright. I don't have enough money to make a huge down payment. So I got into the lease. The lease is expensive, right? That's expensive money, right? You're paying 10, 15, 20% essentially on your money. That's a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. The only thing worse than that is renting a car, because your payment's lower, but you get nothing at the end of it. It's just money you burned. That's it. Right. You don't get anything back. It's like, thank you very much. Get out of here, and we'll take the car back, right? So leasing is a gamble. It's something you do. Leasing or renting is something you do when it's like, I need the car, but I just don't have the cash right now, right? Because I just bought a house. There went all my money, right?
Right. I know me and Armand has the same stance on this. So you would rather buy a car than lease a car, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, because you're going to get the same deal. It's like, well, after 5 years, if it has any resale value, if you intend to sell it, you get the money, right? In this case, they get the money and you just got to make a payment. So, the lease is going to be a little bit less, but you got to drive the car and it adds some residual value at the end of it. So you're not too bad off, right?
Got it.
Okay. So it's only a cheat, I'd say, if you don't have the money.
Right. So my question to you is, so this lease runs out. You're married now. You have one child by the time the lease runs out, or 2 children?
At that time, I only had one, and there was a divorce in between. So I ended up with a car and half a child and no wife and no house. Or half a house. I said, hey, say half a house. She got a house in San Jose. I got a house in Washington.
Me and Mike keep bringing up bad stuff for you.
You're triggering me, man. No, it's all good. This is the way life is.
So my question is how did you at this time? So I mean, you had a lot going on. So definitely during that. How did you come to the decision how much payment you could afford? Or did you fly by the seat of your pants? You just was like, you know what, I like this car. They were like, oh, it's X amount. And you're like, fine. You had no clue whether or not you can afford it or not.
Well, this is the funny thing.
Or whatever the case may be.
I'll give you 2 calculations that I made. One was kind of sophisticated, which was, okay, I'm going to be paying them some amount per month, right? And essentially the way they get you into a lease is, especially if you don't have a ton of money laying is they just say, how much can you afford? Ooh. That's how they get you, right? It's like, let's forget about what the interest payment is, what the residual value is. How much do you want to pay for your car?
And and what's the smartest way to answer that question?
The smartest way is to say, that's not where we're starting. Let's talk about what the price is. That's the smartest way to answer that.
That's the key answer we wanted you to say. Because some people be in there with their pride and they'll be around somebody. They don't want to look like they're broke. They'll be like, oh, I can afford
$1,000 a month. Yeah. That's how they get you, because exactly, they know they're going to play off your pride and you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm a man. So what you got? Yep. Give me the Hummer, So it's like
pride at the door, your door, before you even leave the house. Check your pride then.
Yeah, you got to go in cold calculating. Now, I at least use this little lease app that helped me out. I forget the name of the app, but there's some app that help you calculate what it should be and Kelly Blue Book, all this stuff. So you go in knowing something. You don't just go in cold. If you go in cold, you're dead. They got you, right? You're dead. So for the payments, I did a couple of calculations. One was, well, if now you're going to be charging me 10, 15%. Okay. The only way that makes sense is if I can counteract that by investing or something like that in the stock market. Maybe I'm going to aim 30% in the stock market. I don't care about your 15%, right? So that's one way of thinking about it. It's like, yeah, I borrowed your money on the cheap so that I can save the rest of my money to go buy stocks, which at the time were going up, going down, whatever. That's one. Yeah. And the other is, well, what's my salary, right? I'm new to Microsoft, so I'm making way more money than I'd ever made before. So the amount that they were talking about is like, ego, I can afford that,
right?
So certainly you have to at least say, well, how much money am I making a month? Can I afford it easily? If it's like more than my mortgage or rent, that's probably not a good idea. Right?
And we know people that lives in their car. I know people
exactly.
Wedding rings is more than their car. I know people's wedding rings is more than their house. I know people's cars is more than their house. Yes.
That's all silly, right? I mean, I at least have
in an Acura.
I at least had the fortitude to say, all right, a car is not an investment. A car is just a depreciating asset. You are literally taking money and burning it once you walk off the lot. So don't burn too much of it.
I need you to repeat those last, please, William, please repeat those last 3 sentences for the people that are deaf.
Oh, yeah. Car is a depreciating asset. It is not something that retains value over time. As soon as you walk off the lot, it loses value. And by the time you sell it, it's not worth anything. So you don't ever count a car, unless you're going to hold on to it for 50 years and it's going to become a classic. But at that point, it's like, okay, 50 years,
I still didn't get your return on the money anyway.
You still didn't get the money because you had to maintain that thing for 50 years in cherry condition before it's worth anything. It's still not going to be worth all the money you could have had. So forget it.
And guess what? After 50 years, they don't make those parts anymore. So good luck on trying to find those parts to fix this car that you're going to have. Oh, yeah, that's not. Yeah, you're literally burning money, too, like you just said. Now, that was your tactic for buying a car for yourself and for your family. Now, you are a follower of 3. What was your tact or your practice of helping one of your kids buy a car?
Oh, yeah. So, we definitely need to talk about that. So, transition to I'm trying to take care of my family. All right. So now I got this little 16-year-old wanting a car.
Yeah,
and hopefully by this time we're making really good money, and you can afford the BMW for your kid if you want to, or the
not going to happen.
However, where was that hand down? The shouty. We need to get the shouty.
Yeah, you got your hand me down, sir.
Yeah,
excuse me.
Yeah. So here's so with my daughter, and then through all of that, I ended up living in India. I did lease a 4Runner one more time. Then I went off to India. And when I came back, I outright bought a Toyota Venza as our family car. Still have it today. And that was 2009. 2009. The only thing it's had done to it was I was driving along and the oil pump broke and all the oil drained out instantly. $700 repair, cheaper than buying a new car. It'll go for another 10 years. So that's going to be driven until I'll take it to Oakland and they can smash it up again.
So I got to pause again. Sir. So here we have, you got 2 patents and you still driving a Toyota till the wheels fall off.
Oh, absolutely. Toyotas will last a couple 100,000 miles at least. Before the first oil change, right?
You got people out there that'll buy a car every 5 years, and then
I got over that.
And then they'll use it. I don't feel safe in the car, or da 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 da. And I'm like, most cars, if you keep it upkeep right, It's not going to just break it down on you. It'll last unless you just buy a crappy car.
Yeah, I mean, Toyotas are great for that. And I don't have the other car, I'm jumping ahead, but the other car we have now is a Chrysler Pacifica, which is a family van. And that was, 2000? That was just a couple of years ago. So that one's like 3 or 4 years old. But we'll drive that until
this episode, Money is Funny, is being sponsored by Toyota. Go on, I'm sorry.
No, Chrysler Pacifica.
Yeah, Chrysler.
And that one I got that one because the seats fold down. You can put a 4x8 sheet of plywood in the back. So when I go to the hardware store, I don't have to rent their truck. I can just slot it into my minivan. I'm good.
That's my man. Cabinets.
And on top of that, if kids spill milkshakes or whatever in there, you don't care.
I don't care. It's got a vacuum inside of it. I trimmed it out to the max. So it's got the vacuum. It's got the ABS brakes for the wife. It's got the rear cameras and all that sort of stuff. That car's maxed out. Both of those cars I paid. The first car, the Venza, I actually had a payment.
Okay.
The Chrysler Pacifica, I paid outright.
All right.
So to the daughter's car, before we got the Pacifica, the Venza was mine. My wife's like, nah, I need a car because I got this kid and I got to cart him around and blah, blah, blah. You know, the older daughter's off to college. She does not have a car, the older daughter. So
you hear that, Armand?
She didn't need a car in college, so I didn't get her one. So
hey, just letting Armand make sure he heard you.
We'll see. Depends.
I don't know. We're sure we got money, but come on now. You know, just because you got money doesn't mean your kids need a trophy car
that
they're going to wreck and destroy, and their friends are going to drive it and it's going to get smashed anyway.
Ding, ding, ding.
So for my daughter, first the wife was like, okay, I need a car. All right. And she liked the Honda Fit. You know, it's small, comfortable for her, big back seat for some reason. You can put the child seat, blah, blah, blah. So we got a blue Honda Fit for the wife. And soon enough, she kicked me out and she's driving the Benz and I'm driving the Fit to work. It's like, I don't want a blue Honda Fit. I should be driving a Tesla. We didn't have Teslas then. So I should be driving something, manly, So I'm driving a blue Honda Fit to work, right? And it's like, all right. The Honda Fit, I paid cash. It was $24,000. They tried to do all sorts of, you want that undercarriage spray paint. You want the blah, you want the blah, you want the blah. It's like, I have $24,000. You're going to give me the car today or not?
Stand on it, William. I love it.
Yeah.
Stand on it. Stand
and
on
all it. Grumpy. It's like, we're going to send you over to finance. Like, whatever. You giving me the car or not? Signing papers for an hour. Give me the car. Give me the car. Oh, I'm walking out of here. Give me the car. We actually walked out of the dealer the first time because they kept trying to get us into this, that, and other. I said, you're wasting my time. And I left because it's like, I'm not playing with you. I have money to spend. Give me the car. I'm leaving. And I left because they were just messing around. I went to a different dealer. It's like, I got $24,000. I want to come pick up the car. It's like, they still tried to sell me some stuff. It's like, give me the car. And they gave me the car. And that was it. So Honda Fit, $24,000. It became my car. And then eventually we got the Pacifica. Then my daughter goes off to college. Eventually we got the Pacifica. And then I gave my oldest daughter the Fit.
He figured out a way to offload that.
Figured out a way to offload that. My wife's now driving the Pacifica. I'm back to driving the Venza. And I get pangs every once in a while. It's like, I want a truck. I want an F-150. I want to haul stuff. I want a manly blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'm driving a Venza because during the pandemic, we didn't drive anywhere anyway. And post-pandemic, I don't drive much. So why do I need some fancy car sitting in the driveway burning money?
So basically, what you're saying is, like everyone, well, there's a couple of things you said that's important, which is, one, there's a lot of self-talk that has to go out into all of us to go, hey, you know what? We're not buying we want, I would love to drive a Tesla. I would love to drive this, that, but I have to self-talk and go, I don't need that. I don't need that. It's going to be money funneling away from my family, going to something for what? For what reason?
Yeah. But you have to have a sophisticated view of what is your money for, right? Like, you only have so much of it. So think of it, the way I think of it is, do I want to give Elon Musk $100,000 of my money, or do I want to take 4 or 5 really good vacations over the next 4 or 5 years? I think I'd rather take those vacations.
Do I want
rather than give him $100,000? Right.
Do I want to improve my quality of living, or do I want to worry about getting kicked off Twitter? Let me guess. Let me just figure that out.
Do I want $100,000 that I can then buy a better house? Or do I want to just take a pile of $100,000, pour gas on it, and burn it?
Yeah, or a rental property, or whatever the case may be. And I think the second thing you said was, I'm not buying no kid a brand new car. I'll give him a hand-me-down, just like I got.
Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah. They don't need nothing fancy, because they're gonna probably wreck it anyway. And on top of that, if I give my daughter like a nice car, and she ends up wrecking it, then I'm gonna be mad at her.
You're gonna be mad. So there's no point. It's like, give her the hoopty. I mean, give her something that's reasonable. Right. And it did happen. She got not even that. Her friend got in an accident. It's like, why is your friend driving your car, first of all? And then they got in an accident. And it's like, that's why you do it, because it's like, that's what's going to happen.
I love the way he shrugged his shoulders, like, see, this is why I didn't give her nice stuff. I'm upset, but I'm not livid.
And it's her responsibility. It's like, you got your insurance. I handed it over. The insurance company called me. It's like, I don't own that car. That's her liability. I have nothing to do with it.
Big woman pants on. Put them big woman pants on. Go ahead.
That's right. It's like, you want the car, you take responsibility for the car.
And that's a learning, teachable moment that I'm glad you did not let her squander on, and you had her own up to that.
Yeah, and she's still driving it, so
Hey, perfect.
4 years later, she's still driving it.
Awesome. William A. Adams, we really appreciate your time. We really appreciate your time. We could talk to you forever about the car situation. We can talk to you a little bit more about driving to India. We definitely want to have you come back. We do the second season to have you talk a little bit more. Is there anything you would like to plug before we let you go?
Just my website, I suppose. I mean, of course, my website isn't about cars specifically. It's about tech and having an equity share in technology. So william-a-adams.com. It's my website, and there's just all sorts of stuff that goes on there.
And if people want to contact you, that's how they can reach you through your website?
Yeah, I go to the website. There's all the socials, and
well, I mean, tell me a little bit more about what are they going to find out when they go to that website there?
Well, I came up with a word called tequity, and to sum up my position in the world today, which is, if you want to create intergenerational wealth, you need an equity share in technology. So tequity. And that means patents, that means stocks, that means having our own companies, but it's related to tech. Of course, because I'm a tech guy, so that's what I think it is. But you can just look at the top billionaires in the world, and most of them are having something to do with tech, right? So that's just the reality of our society today. Is tech is the rising tide. If you don't have an equity share in technology, you're going to be drowned by that rising tide. So I'm just trying to help people build tech boats so we don't all drown.
So if I want to build a tech company or invest in technology,
in technology, build a tech company, build your skills in technology, that sort of thing, then you want to be in my little environment.
So we're talking also angel investors and stuff like that too. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. See?
Yeah, or another short way of saying it as an elevator pitch is, I'm building the Motown of tech, and you should understand what that means.
There we go. There we go.
You've heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah. I'm Gary Gordy, and I'm looking for the talent.
Get on. Be the last dragon. Show enough.
Show enough.
Well, guys, if you like our show and you want to hear more about finances, tune in next week. We'll be talking a little bit more about a little bit of everything. You can find me at The Real Mike Jones, and you can find, where can they find you, Armond?
Oh, at The Financial Effect, Croom Financial, all over the place.
Thanks for listening to Money is Funny. Take care, y'all, and save your money.
And money is funny. All right, guys, be good.
Music by Stream Beats.
Universe Media Mastering. Your audio more listenable.